June 25th, Korea, Junjang War. Here's the Junjang Chehum Junshigwan Korean War Exhibition Hall. This should be kind of interesting. Let's check it out. I know what that means. Pretty sad stuff. Bukan Lee Nam Chin. Well, that was a kind of a rough one. Some of those videos are pretty hard to watch, especially knowing that my dad was over here in the Korean War back in '51. And this is a book that I brought along to read. This is about Father Emil Capon. He was a chaplain here in Korea. He's originally from Pilsen, Kansas, very small town. North of Wichita, where I grew up. But Father Capon died over here in the Korean War. He was a prisoner of war, and he was just recently returned. His remains were returned to the United States within the last year. And he was actually canonized. He became a saint through the Catholic Church. So it was a pretty big deal back home. And my father, I told a little bit of a story in a previous video a day or two ago, but my dad, he was in the seminary before he got married, obviously, but before he came to the Korean War, he was in the seminary. He wanted to be a priest, but he couldn't pass the Latin. And he originally carried a water-cooled machine gun here for a couple months when he got drafted and came to the Korean War. And then a couple months into his year of duty, he met a guy from the seminary, and he was leaving, and my dad took his place. And this guy was a chaplain's assistant, so that basically meant that what my dad ended up doing, he traded in the machine gun and became a driver of a Jeep for a chaplain, for a priest. And so they would drive along the front line, and on the front of the Jeep they would set up an altar and do a mass for the Catholics, administer the communion. And so my dad helped the priest set up and tear down mass, and he was basically the driver. And that's pretty much what saved him. Had he not met his old friend that was leaving, I would not be here talking to you right now. War is hell, and I know it's an ongoing thing. The United States has not been in war for about, I think, 13 years or 17 years out of its entire existence. It's crazy to think about. War is a racket. It's a machine. It's a money maker, but it destroys a hell of a lot of lives, countries, economies, families. Anyways, that's enough. That's enough DMZ for me. Fuck it, let's go surfing. Heading south.